Are you ready to roller jam?
Tonight, the Hot Dice Featherweights step up to the mighty Enforcers, and the losers are knocked out of the playoffs.
Obviously, tonight's game is the biggest game of my young team's lives. We've overcome tremendous adversity to get this far, but it means nothing if we don't win the championship.
But are D'Amato and his breeders of hate fated for a Founders Cup rematch against the Quakes?
I swear on my father, Buddy Atkinson Jr.'s life, that I will win this game and meet my little brother, Sean, in the Founders Cup.
Meanwhile, the Enforcers' Hellcat has conjured up some spirits in order to bury the Dice's Shay Brown.
Shay, you know those woods you love so much? After tonight, that's where you're gonna be pushing up daisies.
Talisa, you've messed with fire for far too long, and now it's time for you to get burned.
A ticket to the finals awaits. It's the Dice and the Enforcers next on Roller Jam. You're looking down at Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida. That's home of Roller Jam and the World Skating League. Tonight, a playoff game between the Dice and the Enforcers, and the Jam Girls are in playoff form. To have you with us again, everybody. I'm Rory Marcus along with Lee Hawkberman. An exciting night of Roller Jam on tap for you tonight. The Dice and the Enforcers in the playoffs. The winner goes on to the championship game. The loser is out of the Founders Cup playoffs. And Mark D'Amato of the New York Enforcers has been telling everybody who will listen, he's been waiting to get it off his chest for years, I guess, that he is Sean Atkinson's half-brother and the son of Buddy Atkinson.
Well, that's not all he's got going on. He also recently was in chatty chat with Conor Mac, acquainted with Laura Weintraub. He came out and said that relationship's over. Also, we don't know where Spike, the manager of the team, is. But, of course, he also admitted to being the driver of the ATV that ran over Sean Atkinson, his proclaimed half-brother. But then, for the Nevada Hot Dice, this Amanda Hertz has turned a marketer's dream into a nightmare because now Jason McDaniel is injured.
And it was really unnecessary. It happened during a play called the Blast-Off. McDaniel didn't want to run it. It was during an exhibition game, and he wound up getting hurt. Sean Atkinson then pounded on that knee when he saw that McDaniel was hurt, and we don't even know if Jason McDaniel will be able to play in tonight's playoff game. Just a little while ago, Broadway Danny Wolf canceled a shave he had to schedule with the barber and went down to check on Jason McDaniel.
All right, thank you, Rory. Usually I'm standing in the infield conducting interviews, but today I have the displeasure of being in the World Skating League Rehab Center, where one of the premier skaters of the league, Jason McDaniel, the Hot Dice, is resting comfortably right now. Jason, the Hot Dice have a huge semifinal matchup of the Founders Cup against the Enforcers tonight. I'm looking at your knee now. It doesn't look like you'll be able to skate, and this was an injury suffered in an exhibition game against the Quakes, an exhibition game Amanda Hertz set up. Your feelings about her?
Well, Amanda had us doing a move that we were saving for the Founders Cup. We weren't ready to do it, and it wasn't the place. It was an exhibition game. I could have ruined my career for that.
Well, the million-dollar question right now, will you be able to skate tonight in this semifinal matchup?
Oh, I'll be able to skate. You know I'll be able to skate.
Well, that's not entirely up to you, Jason. Ken Tracy, the official doctor of the World Skating League, what do you say?
Danny, there's no way Jason's going to get my clearance to skate tonight. He's going to have to sit this one out.
Well, conflicting information. Jason, the gamer that he is, you know he'll try to get on the track, but not without Dr. Ken Tracy's clearance. See what happens.
All right, thanks a lot, Broadway. It'll be interesting to see if Jason McDaniel tries to just dissuade the doctor from disallowing him to skate. I bet you anything he goes out there in this playoff game, but maybe not. Maybe he's not capable of doing it. We'll see who skates out now. It's the Dice against the Enforcers. Here comes the big nasty, and he's got Leather Gunning with him. Obviously, they mean business. You look at the look on the face of those two, and they're ready for this playoff game. And you know what? If McDaniel does try to skate hurt, I think Washington will hurt him even more.
Well, the Enforcers' strength is power domination, as illustrated by people like the Hellcat Tim Washington for the hot guys and speed and finesse. And McDaniel is #1 in both those categories. Without him, the Dice are in trouble. These Enforcers always come to play on playoff day, Rory.
Last time I saw the Hellcat, she had her head in a bucket of ice water. I guess she's recovered from that, and she's ready to come out here now and play this playoff game. And you bet she's got a lot in mind for the Dice. She always does. Here come the Enforcer men. They always look a little mean and evil. I wouldn't want to see those 4 guys walking towards me on the dark street in Brooklyn somewhere.
I wouldn't want to see him on Christmas Day in church walking toward me, pal. Come on.
Number 15 is Dan Gavani, 16 is Freddie Eichhorn, and 19 is Mark D'Amato.
I'd watch out when he gets behind the wheel of a moving motorized vehicle. He's pretty savvy.
Obviously. He ran down Atkinson in the parking lot. That's no way to treat your brother if what he says is true. How could a man dedicate his life to doing as many strange and weird and evil things as D'Amato does? I wonder what he thinks about at night when he goes to bed. Probably better off not knowing that. Well, we're waiting for the Hot Dice to make their entrance because I want to know if Jason McDaniel is in uniform or not. Whoa, what's that? Is that part of the standard equipment these days? I doubt it.
Well, she's the Warrior Princess. Maybe in preparation for this playoff game, she went out and honed some of her Warrior Princess skills. It's a weapon. It's some kind of a range stick. There's Laura Weintraub, fresh off the relationship with Mark D'Amato. She's the one who might need a stick to beat off D'Amato.
I don't know if fresh is the right word. She was with D'Amato, but she's here and she's ready to go. I can't really picture Shea Brown out in the forest somewhere chopping down a tree with a hatchet. But it looks like she got a weapon somehow from a tree. There's Weber and there's no McDaniel. They usually come out together. If there's no McDaniel in the playoff game in which they're trying to get to the championship game, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Mark Weber.
There sure is. Jason Beckstein, Sean Davidson, and some of these youngsters who've shown flashes of brilliance. Nobody questions their athletic ability, but McDaniel is really emerging as a leader to complement Amanda Hertz's leadership. And without McDaniel, you're right, they're in trouble.
Amanda Hertz grabbed the arm of Mark Weber for the escort into the infield. She's hoping that maybe she'll be on the cover of Adweek this week, and she's now with Broadway Danny Wolf.
Thank you, Rory, and the team introductions are complete, and guess what? No Jason McDaniel.
That's right. Unfortunately, Daniel, Jason McDaniel will not be able to skate tonight, but our team has been built on overcoming adversity.
Well, maybe he would be here tonight. This is a huge game, a semifinal matchup to get into the championship game if you didn't schedule that exhibition game last time.
Well, you know, let me tell you something. Team success isn't just about track time. It's about confidence. And when my Dice see that their names and their faces become household names, the sky's the limit. Their confidence level will soar, and you'll see.
Well, we'll see what happens tonight. Big game, Rory. Back to you.
Yeah, it's not all about winning and losing. It's about money, right, Amanda? For somebody that looks so stiff, she has cute little dimples, you know that? This guy's ready to go. He better be intense tonight. It's the Enforcers and the Dice in the playoffs next here on Roller Jam. Here we are. We're back at Roller Jam Arena. The Dice and the Enforcers. You missed something a moment ago, folks. I hope we caught it on tape. Shea Brown, and we did. There it is. She is cleansing the track. It's something she learned out in the wilderness. She is ridding the track of the evil spirits of Talisa Miller. It's a ritual she learned from a shaman, or as she told us, a shaman, since her first name is Shea. And we'll see if it works. But she was very serious about it.
I don't know, Rory. I'm not buying it. I think she was putting sand down because Tim Washington's motorcycle sprung an oil leak and was leaking all over the track. But Amanda Hertz is putting a lot of pressure on Shea Brown to start this game off right because of Jason McDaniel not playing for the men. going to be up to the women to really pull their weight that they're not used to doing. She usually has to do it all alone. And the Hellcat, last time we saw her, her face was being slammed into a water cooler by Denise Loden, the Queen of the World Skating League. Well, hell hath no fury like a woman scorn, and the Hellcat has the contacts, the dog collar, the long fingernails. Woo, she's got it all.
Here we go. And we're ready to go. Somebody's going to have to come up with a big game for the Dice if they want to stay in the playoffs. I don't know who it'll be, whether it's Magnuson or Crystal Schneider or P.J. Rossi on the men's side or Sean Davidson or Christian Salvia. Somebody will have to step up and play better than they normally do and make up for McDaniel's loss. Right now, Magnuson's chasing Leather Gunning on this jam. And Magnuson knocks down Shauna Brown, and now she can go on and concentrate on Leather. And she does. She got rid of Gunning. Well, maybe it'll be Magnuson who has a big game. But Talisa Miller, the Hellcat.
She used to be an enforcer, Karen Magnuson. And there's somebody who knows this enforcer mentality and Sisters of Suffering. It's her. And right now, the Warrior Princess takes the Hellcat in the battle of bad blood right down.
I'm just going to take a guess and say that's more effective than whatever it was she was doing earlier.
Ritual or no, this is just a good old-fashioned butt kicking by Shea Brown to the Hellcat. I don't know. This battle is one we're going to keep our eye on all night.
Second jam of the first period. Shea Brown and her sister Shauna Brown on opposite ends, and Shauna grabbed her by the hair and threw her down. Wow. That's revenge for Shea sneaking into her room one time and reading her diary.
What was in there? Let's ask Chatty Chat with Conrad. Maybe she knows.
If anybody knows, she knows. All right, now Shea Brown says, I'm going to get you back, sister. We'll see how this one plays out. Points on the line right here as the Enforcers try to take the lead in this playoff game. The winner goes on to the championship game. And now, Talisa Miller, the Hellcat, has a hold of Shea Brown. Whoa! Down she goes. She landed right on her left knee. There's insult to injury. Amanda Hertz is telling the referee, hey, come on. I don't mind if her bones are broken, but don't let her face get scarred.
Well, the Hellcat, this is her property, this side of the track up on the high side, right down the main straightaway. She loves it over there. She feels right at home, and those who come into the den of the Hellcat usually see a fate like this.
Broadway Danny Wolf has his claws with the Hellcat right now. Broadway?
Thank you, Rory. And Talisa, what did you make of Shea before the period trying to cleanse the track? What did you make of that?
I don't think so. This is my litter box, my private domain. Whew. Hey, Crack-a-Hornets, where you at? Come here. Hold my hands, where you at? She tries to do her little thing. I'm gonna take the rain stick, shove it straight up her ass. She'll be spitting toothpicks for 2 weeks.
Up to you, Rory.
Thank you for another pleasant interview, Danny. And the Hellcat, I guess, means business tonight.
Well, there's many uses for things like the Shamu stick.
Yeah, I guess there are. All right, it's 2-1. The Enforcers have a 1-point lead right now. We're in the third jam of the first period, and the Hellcats grabbed a Jammer's helmet. She sees Magnuson in front of her. I'm sure she'll dispose of that. Not yet, though. Both the Hellcat and Gunning are out there on this jam, and Karen Magnuson's playing tough tonight. She'd like to beat her old team. She takes a swipe at the lid of the Hellcat. Didn't knock the helmet off, though. Miller's doing a good job against Magnuson so far. Oh, and Magnuson grabbed her hair and got ahead on the jam and set her up for Shea Brown. Now Magnuson knocks Leather down, and the Hot Dice go on to score the points.
Too black.
And that was the part of the track where the Hellcat usually feels most comfortable. Well, Shea Brown must have done a little bit of a spiritual exorcism over there after that last jam and says, hey, I can play over here too. And the Hellcat went down in a hurry, more like a clothesline.
Well, did you hear what the Hellcat said when she got up? She had that look on her face, and she said, it's time now. And I'd hate to have somebody look at me with those eyes, with that look on her face, and say it's time.
I don't know, I stopped listening to the Hellcat after she starts talking about the next proctology exam she's going to give.
I think I'd melt like a cartoon character over a rock. 3-3 is the time, is the score, by the way. Last jam of the first period. And Leather Gunnin jumps out there again. Leather is hooked up with Belinda Morgan on this jam. Maybe it'll be Belinda Morgan who emerges and has a big game for the Dice. Somebody better or their season's over. Leather knocks Morgan down. Leather's tough, as you would expect somebody named Leather to be. And I guess it is time, huh? Time to pull out the trash can lid. That's what the Hellcat has done. She's at her best when she has a weapon in her hand. Ooh, right over the head of Crystal Schneider. And she does the exact same thing to Laura Weintraub. And now Belinda Morgan, and that's 3 for the price of 1.
She cleaned house, did the Hellcat.
She sure did, and now Shea Brown's asking for more, and they're going to go at it right there on the rail. Sean Corbin tries to get in. Dee Dixon's the other referee, and they separated them, but these two are not about to stop fighting.
And the Hellcat with the, the Warrior Princess with the shriek. But when these two go at it toe-to-toe like this, Rory, they are so evenly matched that nobody is going to emerge as a victor. Just comes and goes, kind of like a great tennis match. But that garbage can lid in the hands of the Hellcat, gee, let's probably learn that from Mark D'Amato, did the Hellcat.
How about that rain stick now, huh? That was a huge jam, but you used a garbage top.
Yes, Shay. How about that ring stick now, my pretty?
What are you looking at, Danny?
I told you not to look at her, Danny. 6-5, Enforcers leading the Dice after 1. The men are next. All right, second period ready to go. 6-5, Enforcers lead it by 1.
All right, here we go.
And the Dice getting ready to start life without McDaniel. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Coming down the ramp right now is Jason McDaniel. Amanda Hertz is saying, what are you doing here? He's injured. They start the jam without him, and Hertz wants to leave the track. It looks like.
Signed a waiver and I'm gonna skate.
He has one long pant leg and one short. Meanwhile, Weber starts the action pretty well.
Well, now the time is going to tell if he's actually going to play or perhaps he's coming out here just to get his teammates motivated. It looks like Amanda Hertz is saying no way. Jason is saying I'm going all the way.
Christian Salvia looking to pick the points up. We said somebody'd have to have a big game. Salvia is probably the next fastest jammer next to McDaniel on this team, and D'Amato's working him over. When there's something on the line, that's when D'Amato's at his best / worst. Oh, Weber just took him out of the play. And he holds his head. That'll give you a headache. Weber's going to lead Salvia right through. And look at Mark Weber destroy that pack, knocking skaters, including the Big Nasty, right off the track.
Well, great players are defined by how they step up when they're called upon. And Mark Weber, it's no secret, is going to be called upon today. His partner in crime, although we didn't think he was going to play, he may still yet play. Even if he does, he's going to be definitely hindered by that injury. But he comes out in the first jam and annihilates the heart and soul of these Enforcers. D'Amato and Washington saying a statement to these guys, I'm a mature leader, I can play with you.
Broadway, Danny Wolf, I know he's always been a big fan of Willis Reed. We might have the same situation here. He's with Jason.
It's never a Knicks fan, Rory. Always the Lakers. Let me ask you, Jason, what's the deal? You're not even supposed to be here. You didn't get the...
You know what? Nobody's going to tell me that I can't skate. Doctors aren't going to tell me that I can't skate. Amanda's not going to tell me that I can't skate. This game is too big for the hot Dice. I've signed a waiver, and it's going to happen, all right?
You know what?
I guess he's going to skate. I wonder what the waiver said. If you have to get your leg amputated after the game, we're not liable.
Well, I bet it didn't say that.
There we go. I bet you did. Weber and McDaniel, and boy, he doesn't look hurt, does he? He does have that right knee wrapped up a little bit, but he can still fly if he gets the whip from Weber. Jason McDaniel out there on this jam, 9-6. The Dice already have the lead, and he's going to suck it up because it's a playoff game. And Washington's going to go to work on him. You know when it's a playoff game, Washington and D'Amato know exactly where it hurts the most, and they'll go after it. Right now, Weber and McDaniel go after Washington, and look at McDaniel. He might still be hurt. He's been knocked down and knocked out of the play already. He's holding his knee.
And don't think these enforcers aren't very, very, very astutely aware of that injury, where it is and where it hurts.
I think it's actually his left knee. He's wearing the long pant over his left knee, and that's where he grabs there in the back. He has a knee pad on his right knee. So it's just injury upon injury for McDaniel.
I think the fact that he's out here may be a motivational lift for these Nevada Hot Dice.
I wonder what Amanda Hertz thinks right now. Let's find out with Broadway Danny Wolf.
Thank you, Rory. Yeah, and Amanda, what do you think? He just got injured on that play. He's risking maybe career-threatening injury here.
Well, you know what, Danny? I guess you just can't keep a good dice man down. Jason McDaniel is one of the most loyal professional skaters in the league. A true professional, a role model for all.
Good luck, Amanda.
Thank you.
And thank you for that canned speech, Amanda. 10-6, the Dice leading it by 4. All right. The Dice get the jammer out again. This time it's Jason Beckstein. He could have a big game as well. You know, Hawk, the enforcers, D'Amato and Big Nasty, they've been kind of quiet so far in this game.
Well, they're picking and choosing their battles. They realize that these Hot Dice are very athletic, very finesse-driven. And you know D'Amato, there's not many people in the league that you'll question, like you won't question Mark D'Amato. You'll question just about anybody in the league, but don't question Mark D'Amato and his tactics. He's a crafty veteran.
When he's quiet, that's when you have to worry about him, I think, because he is not going to stay quiet very long. Washington now grabs Beckstein. There's D'Amato. There he is.
He's on a loudspeaker.
Oh, man. And the small of the back is where Beckstein has the hearing aid to hear him.
Well, he heard your cue, Rory.
He must have, huh?
Rory Marcus says D'Amato and friends are quiet. Well, he came out like a loudspeaker, a megaphone, on volume all the way up, people.
10-8, the Dice still have a 2-point lead. With one jam left here in this second period, then we'll be at halftime.
What a way to go with Washington setting you up and Mark D'Amato coming off the top rope. Jason Beckstein, the fact that he's up and running around, heck, he's getting back in the game, Rory. Great job, great finesse by Jason Beckstein just to live through that one.
It becomes a matter of who's hurt less, Beckstein or McDaniel. Fred Eichhorn and Christian Salvia jam. Eichhorn's growing a little beard. He needs to look a little bit meaner, I guess. And he just tumbled Salvia over. When Eichhorn reaches the back of the pack, Weber will be there, hanging out, waiting for him, saying, come on. Last jam before halftime. 10-8 is the score. Dice have the lead. Eichhorn goes down and bounces right back up. And now Mark D'Amato's going to try and help him through. D'Amato rails Weber. Out he goes into the front row of seats. And now McDaniel on the bench watches Beckstein get railed. You wonder what's going through his mind as the enforcers tear up the Dice.
And Tim Washington at the tail end of that jam just tore up Sean Davison. Sean Davison and Tim Washington in that demolition derby in recent weeks went at it 2 or 3 times head to head. And Tim Washington, you don't embarrass Tim Washington, but the fact that Sean Davison was on the up and up with him was a little bit of embarrassing to him. But Mark Weber and the rest of these Hot Dice, when Tim Washington's doing things like this, aren't going to last very long.
I can't help but wonder what Jason McDaniel must be thinking. He was able to skate in only one jam. And the Dice are now trailing the enforcers at halftime, 12-10. Halftime of this playoff game between the Dice and the enforcers. The Dice without Jason McDaniel except for one jam, and the enforcers have grabbed a 12-10 lead. Rory Marcus along with Lee Hawk Rimmon, and I'll tell you what, Hawk, we're going to have to start recycling around here because trash cans are a dangerous commodity in this building.
Well, these women seem to think that these are part of the play. And these Hot Dice had hoped to get out at the urging of Amanda Hertz and get a lead for the Hot Dice, but leave it to the Hellcat to close the lid, the garbage can lid on that, as it were. And you're right, Jason McDaniel tried to emerge both as, I guess, a motivational piece of play for his teammates, but also as a physical, but right out of the chute, one jam, he goes down holding that sore knee. And you got to take your hat off to Mark Webber, who came out valiantly trying to go against these enforcers by himself. He takes it right to Big Nasty and Mark D'Amato in the first half. But it's really going to be tough for this young man to do it all by himself.
I think both of McDaniel's knees are a little bit hurt right now. He's just not letting on. And D'Amato had to hurt his back on that play by Webber. And you know, D'Amato's just been so insistent that he is actually Sean Atkinson's half-brother and Buddy Atkinson is his father. And we had to find out more, so we sent Jennifer Gregory to look into it.
You see Mark D'Amato out there acting like a crazy man, so it isn't hard to understand why Sean Atkinson wouldn't want him to be part of his family. But Sean, you may have to set another plate at the dinner table this Thanksgiving. Here's why.
Mark D'Amato's improbable claim that Buddy Atkinson Jr. is his father, making arch rival Sean Atkinson his brother, seems absurd even for him.
Mark, you have made claims in the past that have turned out to be blatant lies. Why should anyone believe that you're an Atkinson?
You know, Jennifer, everything I've done in my career and my life has been to get attention from my father. Buddy Atkinson Jr., my own dad, won't even acknowledge that I exist.
Why did you decide to come out in the open with this now?
Well, after I hit Sean with the ATV, I realized that my life was based on rage and anger at him. And basically, I was jealous of Sean. Our father helped him excel in a sport that I loved as well. You know, after I hit Sean with the ATV, it all didn't seem to matter anymore. How could I be mad at him? He's my brother.
What can you do to prove to the world that what you're saying is true?
My lawyers have obtained permission to take blood samples from the Atkinsons. I will give blood after my next game myself. There'll be a DNA test, and science will prove the rest.
Is there anything that you would like to say to Buddy and Sean?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there is. Father, brother, I know I've done some terrible things in the past, but for the sake of the family, please forgive me.
Brother! Brother Mark! Come give me a hug! Oh, I'll give you a hug, you
And you see what just happened in that feature? That's why you're one of my least favorite people to interview, Mark D'Amato.
You know something, Wolf? You got the worst toupee in show business.
Hey, you're not one to talk. You know, since the inception of the World Skating League, you've created so much controversy. You've perpetrated fraud. Some of it you've gotten away with. Most have backfired in your face. You instigate mayhem. You've been investigated by every federal agency, I think, in the country. But this time, this is ridiculous. These allegations, that's all they are right now, that you're...
Whoa. I tell you what, I'm tired of you saying you're my brother. I'm tired of you putting the Atkinson name down because you're one ugly bastard, if you know what I'm saying. So, there's only one way to solve this. You said you would take a DNA test, a blood test. Well, I tell you what, you take it right now and you take it with my nurse because I don't trust your old ugly ass.
All right, I will submit to any blood test anytime after the game tonight.
What are you talking about? Do it now.
What? You know that if I give blood right now, it'll weaken me for the second half.
Good point.
Weaken you? You skate like a girl now. What the hell?
All right, you want to know something? I'll take the test right now. I don't give a crap.
Do this. This is just, you know, it's not going to weaken you. Need a tourniquet.
Oh, nice tourniquet.
Here. You want to go with this? Go ahead. Pump up. Oh, you don't have nothing to pump up with.
Take the blood. Take the blood.
I got it.
There it is.
You don't have no blood in there, bro. What's up?
No, there's blood definitely being drawn.
It's enough for this. It's enough for all of it.
Well, there's the blood to match up against the Atkinsons. Now we have, to give to our DNA expert, we have Buddy Atkinson, Sean Atkinson's
Here,
blood.
I tell you what. Get some hair, too, while you're at it. Oh, damn. Let's go.
Well, I'm going to send it back to you, Rory. Hey, don't you get at least some cookies and punch? Back to you, Rory.
All right, I didn't think D'Amato had blood inside of him. All right.
It was a little darker than most.
It's halftime. We're coming back with the second half, and they'll be back with the results of that DNA test pretty soon. second half coming up. Dice trailing the Enforcers 12-10 in this playoff game. They're trying to get to the championship game. And remember, before this contest, Shea Brown came out and cleansed the track of the evil spirit of Talisa Miller. Well, at halftime, Talisa marked her turf, the Hellcat, saying, hey, this is my track, this is my territory, and I don't care what you're doing, Shea.
Is there any kind of residual effect of getting caught in some of this crossfire? I mean, we might have to call like the Ghostbusters or something.
Take a shower after the game. Danny Wolf now is with the Hellcat.
Yeah, what the heck were you doing out there, Hellcat?
Oh, Danny, I was marking my territory. I'm feeling a little cat scratch fever.
Ugh, man, back to you, Rory.
Danny got a lick from the cat. And Ted Nugent just picked up the telephone. 12-10, Enforcers lead it. Magnuson jumps out there on the jam for the hot dice. Shauna Brown and Leather Gunnan jamming for the Enforcers. 2-on-1 advantage for New York at the moment. Magnuson doing a good job, and she takes out Leather Gunnan. Shauna Brown will run right into her sister, Shea Brown, while the Hellcat wants to take care of Magnuson. It's a close game, typical playoff game. Shauna Brown gets railed, and the Hellcat sends Magnuson into the rail. So who does that leave? It leaves the Hellcat and Shea Brown. Ooh, punches to the stomach, and down goes Shea Brown.
I look at them as being in big trouble, Rory, because without Jason McDaniel to be able to perform for the men, these women better either take a lead. They need a big lead, I think, going into the fourth period, or they're in big trouble.
The Hellcat was actually smiling after this. Nice to see her enjoy herself. 12-10, Enforcers lead by 2. Belinda Morgan on the jam. Ooh, Andrea Franklin just got sent down face first by Shea Brown. And now the Hellcat's after Morgan. Oh, with that ear-piercing screech, and then, oh my, right down on her shoulder.
You all right? All right, let's go.
I believe that was Leather Gunnan that just went by our camera position. And Talisa Miller continues on with the jam. Talisa is being caught by Shea Brown. These two cannot stop battling. As long as they're on the track together, it'll never stop. Shea, who just got beaten up pretty good by Talisa, wants to come back and get her on this one. Only 9 seconds left in the jam. I don't know if either jammer will score any points. The pack's kind of tied up right now. Oh, and Talisa Miller gets the points because Leather Gunnan knocked down Shea Brown.
Four black. Four black.
She's going to come back and gloat a little bit.
Well, Leather Gunnan's been awful quiet today. The Hellcat usually is in cahoots with Leather Gunnan on a lot of plays. They haven't done so much of that today. They've kind of let the Warrior Princess maybe punch herself out, so to speak. And punch out is right, but it's Leather Gunnan doing the punching. And the Warrior Princess taking it and being taken down. And the Hellcat has really come out of these first 2 jams just like gangbusters, Rory.
The way things are going for the Dice, the way the Enforcer women are controlling this period, they have a 6-point lead. Jason McDaniel's hurt. He's probably not going to play. I don't see how the Dice could come back in this game. They would need something unbelievable, really. And I don't see it happening at the moment. Leather Gunnan's out there against Magnuson. Amanda Hertz might have to go back to AA for a couple of seasons. And Gunnan leads this jam with Magnuson behind her and Shea Brown setting up the block. Shea Brown stops Gunnan for the moment. Lets Magnuson get by, and Magnuson sneaks through there and gets 1 point. Trying to pick up some more if she can get through that pack. Meanwhile, at the back of the pack, some more problems for Shea Brown as she is laid out on that rail and the Hellcat sends her over.
And Amanda Hertz just walked somewhere she might not want to find herself.
You better be careful of that nice ivory-colored jacket.
What is she doing, Rory?
I can't believe what I just saw. Amanda Hertz unleashed.
Part frustration, part loyalty. but mostly stupidity. Amanda Hertz gets herself in the middle of a hornet's nest.
They're carrying her out of here. They're going to carry her right out of the track, out of the building.
This is sad to watch.
Here comes security.
That's the same guy that took Scott Smith out of here. He's a busy guy.
To him, that's like carrying a little bag of charcoal. Well, Amanda Hertz, maybe that'll be the thing that'll get the dice going. It's like a coach in the NBA taking a technical on purpose to try and get the players motivated. One jam left in this women's period. The Enforcers lead 16-11.
All right, here we go.
See if it does any good. Amanda Hertz now is back in the locker room, I presume. Leather Gunnan jumps out of the jam for the Enforcers. Belinda Morgan and Karen Magnuson for the Dice. 2-on-1 advantage for the Dice. They could use something to get them going into that men's period. Like about 5 points to catch up. Right now, Magnuson takes care of Gunnan. The Hellcat goes back to block on Morgan. Plenty of time left in this jam. A full 27 seconds right now. Shea Brown setting up the Hellcat. Over as she goes and out. And then Brown gets 2 for the price of 1. What a play for the Dice. Belinda Morgan calls off the jam.
Here comes some more spellbinding. Shea Brown, you talked about it being motivational. That she left the building, Amanda Hertz. It might have been inspirational. These guys may not like playing for Amanda Hertz. And Shea Brown, she got not Tink Miller, but the Hellcat Miller on the low road and Leather Gunnan on the high road.
She got them both, and now with the men's period coming up, we wonder about Jason McDaniel. Let's find out. Broadway, Danny Wolf.
What do you think about Amanda, your general manager, getting kicked out? It's great, man. It's great. That's what this team needs. We need to get fired up. This is the last period. We're going to the Fast Cup. Yeah! Not too, Rory.
I have a feeling he's going to skate. We have the 4th period coming up. 16-15 Enforcers. The Jam Girl says number 4, and here we go. The final period of this game. Jason McDaniel, sore knees or not, goes out on the jam against Fred Icord. Amanda Hertz may be leading in absentia better than she does when she's here. McDaniel was hurt when he tried to skate earlier. He probably got some ice on that knee, maybe even a cortisone shot, and he's ready to go. And the Big Nasty, you know they'll work on that knee every chance they get. The Big Nasty along with D'Amato and Dan Gavani are both back there waiting as the Big Nasty hooks up with Weber.
Whoa!
And McDaniel takes him out with a rail biter. He must be feeling a lot better right now. Weber knocks down Gavani and D'Amato, and McDaniel finishes it off with a twister.
He opened up the whole tool shed. He brought out the rail biter and the twister. If anybody questions this kid can play, we don't know how long it'll last, but on that jam, these guys really emerge. Heck, Rory, he might just be well rested. You see Mark Weber holding up the Big Nasty for the rail biter, which was no easy feat, but he wasn't done there. Weber goes down to take that, I believe, Gavani. And the man, Mark D'Amato, for the twister. You're right, these guys are motivated, and they're ready to play. And they've taken the lead.
Well, you know, Amanda Hertz has always seemed a little, I don't know, plastic or insincere. But with the game on the line and her players hurt, she showed her heart, and I think these guys are feeding off it. 18-16. Dice have actually grabbed the lead. And Weber rails Andy Wallace. McDaniel, Weber railed Wallace. And now McDaniel has a chance to score some points again. Weber turns around. He's going to pile that back up. And McDaniel somersaults over him again. Boy, have they come up huge in this playoff game.
And the enthusiasm is contagious.
The Dice are trying to send the Enforcers home and out of the playoffs. 23-16. The Dice tumble to the lead. must be cooking something up, and I bet you it has to do with McDaniel's knees. Meanwhile, Fred Eichhorn and Andy Wallace were able to emerge from that pack, and they get out there with a chance to score some points. They could use two guys getting them all right now. Only two jams left, and that includes this one.
The Enforcers don't like playing catch-up, Rory. They much prefer a defensive battle, but they're forced to send two guys out to score some points.
And now D'Amato and Washington knock that pack apart. That lets Eichhorn slide through there. Here comes Wallace. He gets a bunch. And the Enforcers might have just grabbed the lead. As a matter of fact, they did not. They tied it up. You don't think D'Amato would like to make it to the finals against the Quakes and face Sean one-on-one, do you?
It's a little brotherly love.
Not on Sean's part. D'Amato still bitter from when he had to sit in the last row of that Philadelphia Warrior game and watch his daddy, buddy. Final jam of the night, and Tim Washington has the helmet. We're tied at 23. The winner goes on to the playoffs. The loser is done.
And he's moving around pretty good, Rory. He's deceptively fast. You get that big 2,000 pounds moving in one direction, and Jason McDaniel looked like a deck chair being thrown off the Queen Mary.
But they both got them all, and they're still going. We're still tied, that means. McDaniel tried to hip check Washington out of the play, and it didn't work. Still 27 seconds left on the jam. They're both scoring points.
This is great.
They've gotten 4 each. The game is still tied up. D'Amato knocks Weber down. Sets up for McDaniel. And takes him out. Washington could call it off right now and win the game, but he wants to get some more. Now he calls it off, and the Enforcers win it.
And look at him go in the first half. I said big players rise to the occasion. In the first half, it was Mark Weber, but in crunch time, down to the wire, Big Nasty brings home the victory. A big man with a big victory.
Tim Washington and Mark D'Amato team up to win this playoff game and knock the Dice out and end the season of the Dice. So heroic effort by Jason McDaniel. Amanda Hertz, it will be for naught, because when the chips were down, the Big Nasty played his hand and he won. Wow. Broadway Danny Wolf is with the dancing and happy New York Enforcers.
Boy, are they happiest, right? The Enforcers are going to the Founders Cup Championship game for the second straight season. Big Nasty, maybe you are the world's fastest skater.
I am the fastest skater on this track.
And Mark D'Amato, who would you rather face, the Riot or the Quakes?
I'll tell you what, I've never rooted for a team more than the Quakes. I want to meet my brother Sean in the Founders Cup.
Well, there you heard it. They're going to root for the Quakes. D'Amato wants Atkinson. They're in. Back to you, Rory.
Strange bedfellows, huh? The Enforcers will root for the Quakes so D'Amato can play against Atkinson. 31-27, the Enforcers win it. We're happy you were with us, everybody. We'll see you next time on Roller Jam.